Welcome to Kickstart Your Week. We are back. It is pushing the end of January. So, we're going to talk about how consistency is important, maybe more so important than intensity. If
Mm-hmm.
that does that rhyme? Consistency over intensity? Kinda.
Sure.
Doesn't matter.
For today it does.
For today. But if you are, a typical human being, you probably came out of January guns a-blazing, unless you listened to
Mm-hmm.
our first episode this month about taking a pause and resetting before you start your goals. Which, if you didn't, go back and listen to it. It'll be helpful probably for today's conversation as well. But today we're going to talk about building consistency and letting that help drive your momentum versus, you know, going too hard and burning out for a
Mm-hmm.
lack of another buzzword.
Relying on your motivation, because
Yes,
that can fade,
it can fade
especially if you.
quickly in
Yeah,
February.
yeah,
And
exactly.
if you live in Wilmington, North Carolina in February, I'm sorry,
Oof.
it's my least favorite month to live here.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it won't, but it is normally just cold and rainy and dark and miserable. So hopefully that won't be the case for February, but you know, you're not gonna have
Fingers
motivation
crossed.
in February here. That's my that's
Your hot take.
my hot take. Yes. We can bring back the hot take can from Toucan Talks.
I'm all for that.
Mine is February in Wilmington sucks. Anyways, if you're approaching the end of January, already feeling like you've dropped the ball or momentum isn't where it needs to be, motivation has faded. Um, what are some things or some ways that you can rebuild some motivation and some consistency? And then maybe you can tie it into some quarterly plans and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So I think sometimes if and when you do lose motivation, it can be easy to get in the mindset of like needing to come out with something big or something quote unquote shocking. Um, and I mean, while that can work sometimes, I think it's really about maybe, like you said, for our quarterly campaigns, we'll kind of build our content around one main video or content piece. And that you can, have fun with it. That can be your big explosive moment. But it's important to follow that up with consistency, whether that
Mhm.
looks like consistent social media posts based on that main content piece, or it can be consistent email marketing. Um, Whatever that looks like for your business. But, sometimes the big explosive moment can help, or a viral moment
Yeah.
maybe, but you can't just let it die at that. You have to, that's when you have to sit down and maybe just create a content calendar, create
Hmm.
actionable steps that can help you get past the lack of motivation.
Yeah.
And that way you have something to rely on rather than working on it when you feel inspired
Yeah.
or in the mood to do it.
Yeah.
You have steps, 1, 2, 3 of I'm going to post this on this day or send this email on this day and follow up on this day. Um, at least that's what we do for a lot of our clients, and I feel
Hmm.
like it really helps keep things organized.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a good point because not that we are not always inspired and motivated, but since our job is to do the content creation, we can't, it's easy for your own business to be like, oh, like I'm feeling creative today or I'm wanting
Mhm.
to do this. And you can do whatever you want on that day. Technically, you have
Right.
the freedom to do that. In our case, and I think this probably also applies to other business owners as well. Um, when that is your job, you have to be structured. It has to like it's part of your day-to-day routine.
Mhm.
Um, so just practically speaking on, creating content or creating marketing assets, it does it has to be a consistent thing. So whatever that looks like, whether it's, planning out your content calendar, um, for the quarter or
Mhm.
whatever those steps are that make it so that you are going to stay consistent and build those habits, whether you feel being creative or not that day,
Yeah.
is kind of what you got to do. And then, yeah, going back to your other point with the quarterly campaigns, obviously we all want to stay motivated. Motivation is great. And sometimes, again, it's our job. So it doesn't matter how we feel in the moment.
It's gotta get
But for
done.
you, having some of those bigger launches or bigger exciting things, that can help with the motivation,
Yeah.
because it is fun. And obviously you want marketing to be fun. You want your job or whatever you're doing to be fun. So it's good to have those things, and they do work in the marketplace because
Mhm.
you have something that's hopefully going to catch people's attention.
Yeah.
Very strong messaging, all that should be tied in there. Um, so that can get you over the hump sometimes, give you something fun to look forward to. But if you don't have the consistent messaging or
Mhm.
whatever it is, the rest of the campaign built out for however long it needs to be, then you're not going to have the same impact, if you just did that like one time thing.
Yeah.
So I think we're hitting on 2 points in this episode. One, your marketing being consistent, and then two,
Yes.
you people, us, also finding those ways to build habits and be consistent,
Mhm.
um, which then tie together because a person is having to
Yeah.
create those things. So
Yeah.
you as an individual or your team has to build consistency and habits and ways to build momentum and stay motivated.
Mhm.
Um, even though sometimes that can fade or go up and down, but
Yeah.
that then is going to, play out into the actual marketing.
Yeah.
Um,
And especially if you're a small business, once you establish those habits and you're in a flow and you're used to doing it according to, if it's a quarterly plan or a monthly plan, weekly plan, whatever that looks like for you, then it's just easier to keep it going. I mean, that's what a habit is,
yeah.
but it's easier to keep it going when you have like your business to run and maybe marketing is not top of your priority list. But once you establish those habits, then it can kind of become
Hmm.
second nature too.
Yeah. Or you can delegate.
True. True.
That's always an option. But still, even then, you have to have, your ducks in a row to be able to hand that off to somebody.
Yeah.
Um,
But it's easier to hand off to somebody
it is. You
when you
will
do have
also
those ducks in
make
a row.
their habits and checklist will be much nicer, and they will like you a lot more if it's all clean and organized. Yeah, so I think we talked a lot about kind of momentum and marketing, I guess back in November when we were talking about the marketing flywheel concept
Mhm.
of basically delighting a customer. Basically you're converting them, but once they are a customer, how do you continue to build momentum, with repeat sales to that person or referrals or whatever it is to keep the momentum going. So I think that again can tie back into building consistent marketing assets, but also consistency with your client base that just keeps things going. So if y'all haven't
Mhm.
watched that episode, go back and watch that if you're looking for some, again, motivation, because we're in this new year about to head into February. Um
Yeah, instead of a sales funnel,
yes.
think of a sales wheel.
Yes. And get your momentum wheels turning. But no, if you are needing some help on like how do I build out consistency in marketing and build momentum, um, that would be a good episode to go check out. Again, marketing flywheel. It's a fun time. Um, and then yeah, anything else? I mean, consistency is very important, but it also takes some intentionality to get there
Mhm.
and some discipline.
Yeah. And
So
don't
it's
be discouraged if you are at that point
yeah,
now. Cuz it happens, but February's still the beginning of the year. You're
yeah.
not too far gone.
You're still in Q1.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you took all of January just to plan and then
Yeah.
get things running in February, like probably
Yeah.
even better.
Yeah.
Have a solid plan, before you hit the ground running. Thanks for watching this episode of Kickstart Your Week. Subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. If you are not already subscribed to our email newsletter, you can do that on our website, kickstartcollective.co, and we will email you new episodes every Monday morning.